have two topics tonight. I'm really sorry I was not at the last meeting, but I was at the hospital with my father, and I couldn't put it then. You may want to address this, or it may be historical, I'm not sure. As Mr. Letterbach eloquently described during the library debate forum, you have one employee, the superintendent. Well, that employee used his official Twitter account to endorse the two incumbent candidates and one other prior to the November election, two with a full MPS header at the top of the page, which he has since scrubbed. He did the same on Facebook, but that was clearly identified as private, no problem. Is the Twitter behavior a violation of his role as far as endorsing as a public official within his own reporting structure? See York bylaws 4217B. Since the two incumbents won their election, one of those incumbents apparently voted on an evaluation and compensation package for the superintendent 13 days after the election in closed session. Was there any quid pro quo here? Should Mr. Roush have recused himself in the matter? It might be a good idea to revisit that review and expunge any input from the two re-elected board members and have another vote where you recuse them. But you can do what you want. Second, out in the public, there is concern of rising inflation and recession depending on if you believe the government definition or not, and the high cost of living. But here, in the education system, there has been learning loss and the need to add multiple layers of social and emotional learning counselors because of damage, which is usually allegedly caused by COVID. I would propose that an alternate explanation. What we are looking at is a dramatic illustration of the high cost of lockdowns. Your June 20th agenda package had your new 28-page plan for shutting down the classrooms again and going virtual. It was not discussed at that meeting, nor any subsequent meetings in public. So we know you have a plan. Maybe you can stop taking government grants with the strings attached that say you will shut down on command. I leave you with a quote from Thomas Sowell, the famous economist. He was thinking in general terms when he wrote that quote, much of the social history in the Western world over the past 3 decades have been a history of replacing what worked with what sounds good. Thank you.
I've been attending these meetings for 18 months now. I've stated my opinion, many facts and observations over that time. It has been 1 year since the superintendent made a change to the agenda and added these 3 paragraphs, a rather threatening wording to the public comment section. This was originally done because of the larger than normal turnout last fall and the issues surrounding the mask mandates. Those days were over in December of 2021. However, the threatening language was never removed. It is not in the Michigan Open Meetings Act. It's not in the MPS bylaws or anywhere else for that matter. Why has it continued? Last month, it was noted that for the first time in almost 2 years, no one had signed in to even make a public comment. Yes, a couple did end up speaking, but what's the real message? Is this board and the superintendent happy that they are silencing the voice of the community? Have you refused to address public comments for so long that the voices have grown wearied? Is this really fulfilling the part of the bylaws that state this is the responsibility of this board and the superintendent to work with the parents and the community? Where is that in the goals for this superintendent? Are there only select portions of the parent groups and community members that really matter? Further, there have been a couple of meetings that the president decided during public comment to not call the speakers by the order in which they were registered. I'm not sure the reason for doing this, other than to show he does not have to follow any perceived rule. Why would he call people in random order instead of top to bottom as they signed in? Just to show the attendees that he has the power to manipulate things however he chooses? Perhaps it's time to take a long, hard look at where this board and the district are going in the new year. Is it time to go back to the simple, the Board of Education will receive public comment on the agenda? There was even a time a couple years back when the minutes reflected who spoke during public comment. I guess a lot has changed in the last 2 years, and I would say not for the better. I'll continue to pray for this board and superintendent as you begin a new year. Thank you for your time, and have a Merry Christmas.